What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Jeff Guy here. We are back making videos. It's been about a year since I've posted on this channel, so we am very excited to be back. And of course, I'm a little rusty. I've been recording these games, but have failed to figure out how to record myself on audio because it's been so long. So I have 3 games on this franchise. This will be one of the series we're doing. We have another Falcons franchise. It's a little bit further along. But I've taken on both of these teams, and I'm trying to win Super Bowls against real people. And I'm having some success, but have a long way to go, especially with this Titans team. I'll intersperse some gameplay over the past couple games. We are currently 2-1, as we just took down the New York Jets in a pretty convincing way. Let's go over this team. Let's talk about the season, and I'm excited to bring you guys Week 4 against the Colts. It's going to be a great divisional game. All right, so taking a look at the squad, the most important player on our offense is our quarterback, Will Levis. The previous user got or earned Superstar with him, which is great. He's a 77-year overall, 25-year-old. He's got some good attributes. He is not necessarily the best quarterback in the league. He does have 96 throw power, 80 speed, so he's certainly mobile and can make throws. However, he doesn't have great abilities, and we're not allowed to adjust our abilities in this league. So it's going to be a project getting him up to where I want him to be. However, our offense has been really strong since we've started. And, we did throw 3 picks last game. But I think we are leading the league in yards and touchdowns right now. So we're doing pretty well. We brought in J.K. Dobbins in free agency. I know in real life he tore his Achilles. His career is probably over. However, he did not sustain that injury in Madden. He's 25 years old, star development, 82 overall, with 92 speed. In this league, you have to run the ball. You have to maintain like a 70-30 pass to run breakdown. So we use him mostly as a receiver, but when we do run, we do give him the ball. He has been really, really strong for us. Actually had 5 catches and 3 touchdowns receiving last game. He is, I think, leading the league in receiving touchdowns right now, just because our receivers, as we go to talk about them, aren't very strong, and they struggle to get open, and we wind up taking a lot of checkdowns. So starting off at wide receiver, the previous user traded for Deontay Johnson. I struggle to get him involved. He's just 90 speed, 92 change of direction. Like, he's fine. He's just a slot receiver, and as of right now, we're just not getting him involved as much as we should. We got Treylon Burks, who is a first-round pick of the Titans a couple years ago. 6'2", 90 speed, 86 change of direction. He's not a bad receiver, but it's hard to really get excited about this team, just given some of the options. And then the only other guy really of note, we have a couple other free agents we brought in, is Glenn Rogers. He is our rookie receiver. We're trying to win him Rookie of the Year just because there's a financial incentive to winning Rookie of the Year. However, I'm not a huge fan of his 91 speed, 82 change of direction. Like, he's fine, right? But he's nothing special, and we're looking to bring in some really superstar wide receivers. I just don't ever see him becoming one. But the focal point of our passing offense is not our left tackle, Brian Alfaro. I'll get to him in a second. Is Chigo Konkwu. He is a 78 overall superstar, which is great. Only 24 years old, 6'3", 88 speed, 92 acceleration with 86 catching. He is certainly a focal point of our offense, although the defenses that we're playing try to take him away from us. So we're trying to get him going. He is certainly our wide receiver 1, if J.K. Dobbins is not it already. The offensive line has 3 pieces that we really care about. Peter Skoronski, first-round pick from last year. We moved him to left tackle just because he is the best player on our offensive line right now. Netani Muti, we brought in free agency. He's on a 5-year deal for us. He has 96 strength, so I'm just going to run him out there, and he's going to play for the entirety of this franchise. And then Brian Alfaro, we drafted in the first round. We did have 2 first-round picks. He is 6'8", 333 with 93 strength. I had hoped that he would be better. I looked on the Neon Sports site. He is a star development, which is upsetting. He's nothing special. He's basically Peter Skoronski, part 2. So we'll probably be in the market for another offensive lineman, as Cody Whitehair and Kevin Zeitler are both on 1-year deals. I'm not going to bring either one of them back. So coming over to the defense, I think the offense is pretty strong, even if there's a lot of work to do. The defense is actually bad. Our front 7, the really only player of note is Jeffrey Simmons, who spells his name incorrectly, Jeffrey, as a Jeff myself. 6'4", 305, 27 years old. He's getting the absolute bag. He's just not really a pass rusher. He can get to a guy who's running the ball. You just can't really get downfield and get to the quarterback. So what we are doing is moving him. We moved him into D tackle on our depth chart, and we basically just have him stop the run. We're waiting on this ability slot to be filled in, but once it is, he should be a good run stopper for us. He's signed through the remainder of this franchise, so we're not going to touch him. But then the other players, Taylor Tart, Harold Landry, Brandon Smith, none of them are worth writing home about. Neither is really anybody in our linebacker core as we are in this 4-3 set. Jabril Cox, who brought in free agency, is certainly not a bad player, but very far from elite. And then Eric Herring was our second round rookie pick. We needed a linebacker. I didn't love him coming out of the draft, but he's someone I kind of felt that I needed to take. Not amazing. 86 speed, 89 excel, 87 tackle are all pretty good, but then every other attribute just kind of stinks. He's 6'1", 21 years old, certainly room to grow. If I had someone better to play, I would play them over him, but because there are no other options, he's going to keep playing. He has star development, so hopefully he can get up to like the mid 80s and be a force for us. Maybe he comes down and becomes a pass rusher at some point. The strength of this team, though, is the secondary. So Caleb Farley, 6'2", 25 years old. With our current scheme and offensive defensive coordinator situation, we do have the +3 speed on our cornerbacks. So he does have 99 speed, which makes him an asset on the field. However, he really struggles to catch the ball. We've had him drop a couple of interceptions already. But he can run with anybody. He's just not great in coverage. So we're going to keep developing him as we go along. And the same story with Kelvin Joseph, who I believe actually had 2 interceptions against the Jets. 6'1", 24, 98 speed. So he's very fast as well. Same exact type of player, just lower attributes. We're a lower overall team. There's nothing we can do about that. All we can try to do is upgrade them. And then probably the saddest part of this team is our third overall pick, rookie Stephen Barrett. I was between him and another cornerback named Cindy Anderson. I wound up taking Barrett because he had a slightly faster 40 time. I was hoping that he would just be the better player, maybe luck box, good dev trait. He is a 6'3" corner. He is star development. He is 21 years old. He only has 91 speed, boosted to 94. I was hoping for a lot higher. 96 excel. He just profiles very similarly to the other two, albeit he is the best of the group. We are putting everything we can into upgrading him. I think we drafted him at a 75. He's already up to a 79 in week 3 of his rookie year. So he's developing really well. However, as I'll show you in a second, we missed out on a stud player. The only other player of note on this team is Kevin Byard. He's on the last year of his deal. If we can find a way to trade him, we will. But as of right now, he is the team on defense. He's made a couple great plays for us and will continue to do so. As long as he's on the team, he's 31. So if we do wind up re-signing him, it won't be for a long time. So to add insult to injury, we missed out on Steven Anderson, who is another 6'3", 21-year-old cornerback. He went to the Jaguars, which is a divisional opponent. We are 2-1. Our loss came to the Jaguars. It was a 1-possession game. Very, very good game. We struggled on defense and would have loved to have this guy. He's only a 76 as the Jaguars, I don't think, are developing him as their primary piece. They have a lot of good players. He is 93 speed, so 2 higher. 93 excel, a little bit slower there, but he does have superstar development, which is going to be heartbreaking as no matter how much we put into Barnett's development or Barrett's, whatever his name is, right? No matter how much we put into his development, this superstar ability is going to kind of dominate for the Jaguars. So we definitely missed out on a really good player here. But, we are who we are. I mean, the Titans team is not one of the stronger rosters in the NFL, but we are 2-1. We are making the moves to put ourselves into Super Bowl contention. And based on my skill, I mean, I'm not going to brag, but I'm a pretty good Madden player. I've definitely struggled on defense as this personnel isn't really built to get stops. However, we've done a lot of good things to get ourselves into contention for the Super Bowl already. Early on in the year, I did throw 3 picks against the Jets, which I just made a lot of stupid mistakes. and one bad throw from Will Levis. I'll put one of them on him. But we are leading the league in yards passing, and as of right now, passing touchdowns. I think the Chargers have not yet played this week, so we'll see how he does. But the 4 picks really does hurt. We were going to go in like 11-1, 11-2 if we even threw one. So that's that. Rushing, we are not one of the premier rushing teams. As you can see, a couple guys have changed spots. J.K. Dobbins, 34 carries, 178 yards, no touchdowns, 1 fumble he did recover. We are not a running team, and we're trying to win MVP with Will Levis. So really, for me, there's no point in focusing on the run. We just do it to fulfill the league requirement of getting rushing yards, and then we go from there. As of right now, no one really popping on, except for J.K. Dobbins, on the NFL list for us. I'll just go to our team to look. So, Rodgers and Dobbins, clearly the guys I'm trying to get the ball to. Dobbins because of checkdowns, and Glenn Rodgers because of the potential rookie of the year. Does have 2 touchdowns through 3 weeks, which is pretty good compared to the 6 for J.K. Dobbins. He's just open, right? And we're able to scheme him really well. Chico Okonkwo, 11 catches, and Treylon Burks, 11 catches. This is clearly the core, and then I'm just struggling to get Deontay Johnson the ball. I don't know what it is. It might be a scheme thing. Might need to move him into the slot. I just don't. I've really struggled to get him involved. He's clearly our superstar receiver. He's the one we should be getting the ball to. But given he's on the last year of his deal, I don't feel a need to invest in him. So for our short-term success, probably need to get him the ball. But other than that, I think we're good. Everyone else is just kind of tertiary. And then if you look at the defensive stats, we struggled to get pressure. However, Harold Landry had 2 sacks last game. Jabril Cox had 1 last game. And Deontay Vincent had 1 last game. No other sacks on the season, which is a clear issue. And then we did have, I believe, 6 interceptions against the Jets. Kevin Byard had 1. Kelvin Joseph had 2. Barrett had 1. Fulton had 1. And Caleb Farley had 1. And then Byard had a pick in week 2. And Barrett had a pick in week 1. That's where the team is. As of right now, the plan is to build around Will Levis, build around J.K. Dobbins, Chico Okonkwo, and our corners. And as of right now, that core will be together for a little while. If we take a look at the salaries, right, we have a lot of people prepared to leave this year. And we might not re-sign any of them because the only 2 that actually matter are Deontay Johnson, who I don't feel good about re-signing, and where are you? I probably passed you. Kevin Byard, who is on last year's deal, probably wants more money than we're willing to give him at 31 years old. So we're going to probably lose those 2 in free agency. I'm more than fine with that. And then the year after that, the only people we really have leaving are Treylon Burks, who don't feel passionate about, Caleb Farley, who we're happy to overpay, given that he has 99 speed, and Chico Okonkwo. None of them really are going to, need massive contracts, and we'll probably have something somewhere close to 110 million in salary cap. So there's a lot that's going to change over the course of these next 2 seasons for this Titans franchise. So I really hope you guys enjoy this look at the team and come back for another episode as we're going to get into some live gameplay. I'll be able to commentate now that I figured out the volume. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.